Nick Bridges, the president of Transparent Audio. Very excited to be here at the Hong Kong show this year, and even more excited about a wonderful new partnership with Richcom. The future is very bright as we bring partnership together. A little bit about Transparent Audio. The founders, Jack and Karen Sumner and Carl Smith, came together in 1980, originally as a distribution company, but quickly realized that cabling was an underserved part of the market, and there was something to be solved for, as it was not being treated as a crucial component in a system. And therefore set out to solve for that, and Bob will speak to you a bit more about the specifics of how we do that. But in 1993, they launched Transparent Cable as it is known today, and has been for over 3 decades now. Since that time, we've been based in the state of Maine in the USA, and all of our products are handcrafted right there in Maine. And for the entire time, the ultimate goal and focus has been about a connection and a love of music, and music as it's intended and should be heard. Not a hi-fi sound, but a natural sound, in order to connect with the music emotionally, as the artist intended, as it was meant to be heard in the space that it was recorded. This is something that is a great challenge, but a great responsibility, and one that we've taken seriously for over the 3 decades we've been at it. So again, very excited to engage with everyone here at the Hong Kong show, and excited for everything that will be coming with our partnership with Richcom. So thank you.
I'm Bob McConnell, Vice President of Global Business Development, and we're very, very happy to be partnering with our new friends Richcom. Transparent, as we said, has been making cables now since 1993, and we are in our 6th generation of products. So each time we have improved the musicality of our products, we introduce a new generation of products. And what we have here are our 6th iteration of Transparent. We make a full range of products for systems at every performance level. We have 10 ranges of products, from our simple hardwired brand all the way up to Magnum Opus, which is the finest product of its type that exists in the world. We have always kept that a hi-fi system needs to try and get as close as possible to a live musical event. And everything that we do is trying to make the cables give you the information that is there in the tone of instruments and voices, give you the dynamics and spaciousness of live performance, so that you enjoy your music on a hi-fi as if you are having a personal performance every time. And that is the beauty of it. So we have a whole range of products: analog cables, interconnect speaker cables, a full range of digital products for every type of connection needed there, a range of power conditioning products that give you the ability to not only clean the power and distribute it, but also protect your valuable components from any surges or spikes that might come from the electrical system. And then finally, a range of power cords to provide the best energy transfer into your fine audio components to give you the complete expression of dynamics and sound possible. So a full suite of products available in ranges that work with any kind of system, from the most basic to the best available, and always in service of great music sounding like life. Most companies in the wire business can really only talk about what metal their cable is made from. Is it copper? Is it silver? Does it have some gold in it? All of these ideas are interesting, but do not in fact affect the sound in the way that they claim. A cable is a way for a signal to get from one box to another box. When you make that connection, there are electrical properties called capacitance, inductance, and resistance. And the type of metal that is used is a very limited part of that. Once you use high quality, high purity copper, Everything else really comes down to what are those properties and how are they balanced. And this is the magic of Transparent, is that we understand that having one set of standards for a cable is important, and the customer should never suffer if they need to use a longer cable or a shorter cable just to have the right sound. So this is really what makes Transparent different from companies that only use metal as their story. We realize the cable is a component, not just a wire, and that component has to be balanced and musically complete every time at every length. So at Transparent, we are famous for having a cable with a network box on it. That network is important to do several critical things in our design. The very first one is that all wires, all cables, want to behave as an antenna to pick up radio noise. This is a problem because even though you cannot hear radio noise, when it is in the wire, it forces the components to have to filter it. And this makes other problems in the sound. With Transparent, we do not allow frequencies in the megahertz and gigahertz region to run inside the cables. We never ever limit anything that is part of music all the way up into hundreds of kilohertz, but we do not allow electromagnetic and radio frequency noise. That's the first thing. The second thing is the length of the cable should not change the sound. But these properties of capacitance, inductance, and resistance change when you make a wire a different length. And when you change the wire length, the sound will change unless you use a network. So what we do is we design a cable for maximum amount of signal. Then we tune the cable to the ideal one for the most complete musicality, and we put the network on it so that every length behaves exactly like the one we think is perfect. Okay. Last, in our higher end models, starting at reference, then going to XL, Opus, and Magnum Opus, we've moved beyond simply correcting for the length of the cable and rejecting noise to tuning so the cable takes the signal from the source component in a better way, with less reflection loss and less deflection loss. And this means more small details that are there in the real sound get through the cable to the next link in the chain. As we get better and better at this, we get to the point with Magnum Opus where almost all of the signal from the original path gets through the wire without a reflection, and so you hear the finest details of the performance, the tone of that Stradivarius violin or Miles Davis trumpet, the complete dynamics, whether the music is extremely soft or extremely loud with no compression at either end. Does it swing? Does it move? Is the timing amazing? All of these small details, when the cable mismatches, get lost. And then finally, the spaciousness of a recording. How big is an instrument? How big is a singer? And then what is the space they're performing in? Does it sound real? And all of those things together are revealed when the cable does not lose the small signals that tell your brain and your ear it's real. Transparent, we have been in the Asian market in various countries for a long time, and my observations are that Asian people are very passionate about music and enjoy the art form of music listening, and our goal is always to make sure that when you're listening at home, it is complete, emotional, and musically involving. And that we hope with our new partners Richcom that we will show many, many more people in China, Hong Kong, and Macau how adding Transparent to wonderful components like Wilson Audio, Constellation, DCS, Unison Research can make a musical system that all you want to do when you get home is turn on your hi-fi and listen to music. That is our goal, to make musical enjoyment part of everyone's life that wants it. great many people who get quite angry about cables and expensive wires and all of this. And at Transparent, we understand this a great deal because we make some very expensive things. But they are very expensive because we use the best quality parts and we do things no other cable company does to make them perfect for the best components in the world, like a DCS Varese, like a Constellation statement amplifier, like a Wilson XVX. We make our products perfect for those to make the best musical systems. The issue that many people who understand how audio works get angry about magic wire theory because the stories companies tell about their special metals or freezing or boiling or whatever does not affect what really matters in a cable, which is capacitance, inductance, and resistance. And if you allow those properties to be random every time you change a length, every time you bend a cable, it's a problem because that is what makes a circuit. When we talk to people, we say, if you were to talk to an electrical design engineer who makes an amplifier or a DAC or some component, and if you were to say, give me a little place on your circuit board where I can throw some random parts, is that okay? The answer is no. And yet every random piece of wire is random in capacitance, inductance, and resistance. With Transparent, if you listen to a super cable, for example, and you hear the 1 meter, if you need 3 meters, it will perform electrically the same, so you get the same correct, balanced sound. You can never do this with a piece of wire.